Hey everybody, welcome to another live video. I am Kenny,
I'm Sabrina.
and go ahead, tell everybody what you just said.
I sat down and I said, I feel like I need to put on a seatbelt.
It's one of our must-haves.
Oh my gosh.
You didn't know I was going to say
I
that.
did not know you were going to say that.
So today we are going to talk about our must-haves while shopping for an RV, and I guess mostly this pertains to full-time, but I guess it would be helpful for people doing the part-time or weekends and things like that as well. And I'll probably say when this would be good for full time and when maybe you wouldn't necessarily need it all the time or something like that. Maybe. So we are going to start in the kitchen because that was one of our big deals. We knew that we would be cooking all of our meals at home, or at least 90% of our meals in the home. And yes, we do consider the RV our home. So when I say home, I mean the RV. um, so we wanted to make sure in the kitchen we had lots of counter space. We wanted the largest convection oven possible. So we have a 1500 watt convection oven. We also have a secondary oven, which is propane. We have dual sinks, which wasn't necessarily a must have, but we wanted to make sure the sink was at least the deep style. A lot of the RVs in their sinks will go with the shallow ones, and we wanted the deep style sinks for when cleaning up. You keep on looking over here and smiling, but I don't know why. Were these just my must-haves?
No, I'm listening. I'm listening. Carry on. I know about your obsession with deep sinks. That's why I was like.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you have a little shallow sink, to me, I'm just messy, and I would just make a mess. Pantry was big time also for the kitchen area. We want to make sure that we had enough pantry space to hold all of our pantry items, the vegetables and our spices and plates, and well, I guess your plates don't go in your pantry, but I'm counting that as storage. Storage in the kitchen area.
My chips, lots and lots of chips.
Sabrina has a chip addiction. She's salty and I'm sweet.
I don't know. The viewers might not think so after some of your comments.
I'm nice to everybody but you. I don't know why that is.
I don't know.
And I'm only mean to you.
You don't really think you're mean to me, though.
No, that's good.
I don't really take your comments to heart. I'm like,
That's just Kenny. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Unless they're good comments, then I take them to heart.
Okay, move. When we were shopping and we would walk into the bedrooms of the RVs, things that we felt that we needed and have turned out to be true is a regular, I don't know how to, residential queen size bed. A lot of RVs have like a cutoff beds where they're maybe 75 inches long instead of the full 80 inches long. They may not be as wide, but they still call them like an RV queen. I'm not sure how they came up with this, but so sometimes RVs don't have true residential size beds in them, and we wanted to make sure that we had a residential queen because that's just what we were used to, and we were really trying to get as many comforts at home as we had while living in our apartment. So we wanted the queen bed. Again, I get in trouble every time I say this, but I'll say I'm a big person and Sabrina's very tall. So Sabrina's about 6 feet tall.
Thank you, because Roger had just said that you were right back in the doghouse.
Always, Roger. I don't even leave it. I just stay in there constantly. So it was important to have that full-size queen bed, so that when Sabrina's laying in bed, her feet aren't like at the edge of the bed.
Not great.
She doesn't like that.
Who does?
Wardrobe. Surprisingly enough, wardrobe was a big deal on our list. When we were first looking at RVs, we would go into them and we thought they were real nice. And then we would kind of play house a little bit and say, all right, well, it's first thing in the morning. What do? We'd go to the bathroom and then we maybe start getting dressed. We go to the bathroom to shower, say. And then we start getting dressed, and Sabrina right away noticed, oh, well, where would all my clothes hang that I wear for work? So wardrobe became a top priority on our list. If we walked into an RV and it didn't have wardrobe that she could hang her pants and clothing and her shirts, button-down shirts and things like that for work, it became a no-go. So wardrobe was very big on our list. And also, one of the bigger items was a solid door that separated the bedroom from the living area or the living space. She does a lot of night shifts, and when during the day, it's tough to be quiet.
It's tough.
For me.
I mean, even with the solid door, it's It's not ideal. It's not ideal.
But we need a.
But it was better. It's better than having that like accordion folding paper mache door. Yeah. So we need a solid door.
I would say even that would be pretty good, though. You know, we needed some type of separation that this is the bedroom, this is the living area. At least we can block off the light. You know, the door does actually a surprisingly pretty good job of blocking the sound as well, but having a separate sleeping area was a
it's not even just me working, but even we get up at different times.
Oh, yeah.
Some days I'm up in the...
Yeah. God.
I mean, the other night I woke up at 1:30 in the morning and I was up from 1:30 to 4:30 and I just closed the door, came out here and was working on the computer for a few hours. And then I went back to bed and he got up at a normal time and I was then sleeping in there. So we definitely wanted a solid door.
Yeah. Moving into the bathroom, our must-haves for the bathroom was a normal size bathroom. It's tough to get a really large bathroom, especially because one of our must-haves was an RV that was under 30 feet. We wanted to make sure that we could get into all the RV parks with no problem, national parks, and we wanted the maneuverability. And sometimes that means that you have to sacrifice some things, but we were really picky on what we were looking for. So we wanted a normal size bathroom as possible, and more importantly, a full-size shower, something that we could stand in. I mentioned yesterday in video that Sabrina has a long wingspan.
I'm an eagle now.
And for her to bump her elbows in the wall, which was a learning.
Oh, it was very tough.
It was a learning curve.
I was getting pretty aggravated those first few days to week or two in here that I was like, Kenny, if I bang my elbows one more time in this shower, we are done. And I had to like come to a moment where I was like, okay, Sabrina, don't let 5 minutes of your day ruin your entire day, because it was definitely a learning curve.
And that was with getting a shower. That's a decent sized shower for RV.
34 by 34 or something.
I thought it was 36 by 34, but maybe it is 34 by 34. So it's a decent sized shower for an RV. And then again, cabinets in the bathroom for our toiletries. You know, you want to make sure that you have spaces and places to put all your razors and your toilet paper and your cleaning solutions. And this RV also had that, so we had enough I was on call pantry, but storage for the toiletries. The living area. So in the living area, we mentioned yesterday also is that we wanted a large TV. We wanted the captain's chairs to face the TV. So we wanted the TV, you know, we needed it in a particular location. This wasn't like a deal breaker, but there were lots of times that I know we would walk into the RVs and be like, wait a minute, why is the TV up in this corner and we got to sit this way to watch it? So it was quickly a deal breaker for us if we didn't like the position of the TV. We were really picky when we bought the RV. We also wanted surround sound for while watching the TV. And that was really our big priority as far as the living area. It was just really the TV location, having comfortable seats to relax in, and of course a dinette. We could have had a choice between a dinette and a sofa, even though we were buying used, so we were looking for ones that had the dinette. If we had to, we could have always converted the sofa into a dinette area and replaced it. The dinette, I felt we would get more use out of the dinette. The dinette gave us extra storage. It gave us a table for work and for our meals. And I felt as if a sofa only promoted us to sit. We couldn't, it wasn't, for me, just was not functional enough. The dinette already turned into a bed, so there was no advantage of the sofa over that. Sabrina does miss having a sofa, though, truth be told. She wishes we had
I do. I don't know if we could get away without the dinette, because I agree, we use it. Ugh, look at it.
Even with this table, we still use it.
We use it, but I would like the addition of a sofa. Would be nice.
I mean, we could. We could have a sofa here. You know, these chairs spin, and this could be our eating area, but it would be tough to do all of our work here. Both of us working at the same time with the laptops. You got printers and scanners and whole operation going on over here. So that was the main thing in our living area, is just to be comfortable when we got done work.
And that it was functional with the slides in. So we wanted to still be able to access everything with the slides in.
Yeah, that's correct. The kitchen, getting in and out of the refrigerator, the microwave, still be able to cook our meals, being able to operate the sink, getting access to the bed, and getting into the bathroom. So that's a big, big deal for us, was make sure that when we're traveling, we can still operate everything that's important to us while driving down the road. Functions. We'll get into the functions of an RV. So we wanted to make sure that our refrigerator was able to operate on propane as well as electric. And that goes for our water heater as well. We want to make sure that that was able to operate on propane as well as electric. And that's just because we knew that I'm taking a deep breath. We knew that we were going to be traveling a lot. And there were lots of times that we would not be plugged in. As much as we stay at campgrounds, because of our traveling, we're only plugged in 3/4 of the year. Another quarter of the year is unplugged, and there isn't another quarter. But I was going to say then, and then another quarter is boondocking, but that's not true. So we spend maybe about 50-50. Probably 50% of the time we're hooked up, 50% of the time we're not hooked up. So we knew on those times that we weren't hooked up, that we would want to be able to run our refrigerator on propane and be able to get hot water from our propane. Did I mention the AC heat pump?
I'm not sure.
I don't think I did. So that was another, well, we'll put that in the functions. AC heat pump. The AC heat pump, while plugged into a park, puts out hot air through the electrical system, through the shore power, and we knew that would save us a little bit of money instead of running our propane and running the furnace all the time. When we stay at the campgrounds, we don't pay for the electric. It's included in our stay. So we try to take advantage of that as much as possible. The downside to the AC heat pumps is that it varies from model to model, but ours works till about 45 degrees. Anything colder than that, it doesn't operate anymore. It shuts itself off, and you have to use the propane heat in your furnace. But for any time that you're above those 45 degrees, being able to use the AC heat pump definitely saves us a little bit of cash in refilling the propane. It makes the propane last a little longer. Another big deal for us was our water tanks and holding tanks. So our fresh water, we wanted us, again, being under 30 feet, we wanted to be as large as we could go, being under 30 feet. And we wanted the holding tanks, the black tank and the gray tank, to be able to hold as much as possible while still staying under that 30 feet. And then after we started RVing, we realized that your holding tanks are more important than your fresh water tank. We have a gravity fill, and it is very easy to just keep on adding more water to that fresh water tank. It's not a big deal to keep on adding water to that fresh water tank. Your holding tanks, though, once they are full, they are full. And then you got to be able to get a place to either dump them, or you need something called, believe it's called a Blue Boy, where you can hook up an external tank, dump the tank into this, then you take that and you dump it into a sewer. Either way, it's not as easy as just adding your fresh water. So when you're shopping around and you're looking at tank capacity, I truly believe that holding tank capacity is more important than the fresh water capacity. So just keep an eye on those numbers when you're shopping around. Storage was a big deal for us. We were downsizing from a 1,200 square foot apartment, and we were doing our very best to unload everything. We don't have storage. We don't have friends holding on to everything for it or anything for us. So everything we own is in our RV or in our car. So we needed the storage to bring whatever they were. They were just items that we could not part with. We have some sentimental items that you just didn't want to get rid of. And we got bikes with us. We got 4 spare tires with us for the car and snow for snow. We have
junk. Lots of junk.
We got junk. We got tons of junk. Thank you. I was on name everything. So another big deal for us, because we full-time all the time, RV full-time all the time, however you want to say it, we felt it was important to have our water tanks, holding tanks and everything to be able to stay warm in cold temperatures. We are often in below freezing temperatures, more than we would like to be. And we knew that water and freezing temperatures don't go well together. So our RV has what's called a freeze line. As long as we keep the home part warm, it keeps the bay warm. And, well, not so much the bay, but anywhere where there's water, it keeps all that area warm. Some of our bays can get cold, but anywhere there's water is part of this freeze line. They sit above that freeze line and they stay warm. Another way you can do it is heat tanks. Or not heat tanks,
Heated holding tanks.
Heated holding tanks. The only issue, the reason why we didn't really go for that style was because I believe you got to be plugged in for the heating elements to work. And if you don't need to be plugged in, they're going to pull and draw a lot of power to keep those tanks warm. So we just wanted something simple. We wanted it, if we were warm, our tanks were warm, and there was like no thought, we never had to remember to turn the tank heaters on or anything like that. So that's why the freeze line was important to us. Another thing that we wanted.
Wow, we wanted a lot.
We wanted a lot. We really did have a really long list of our wants. Was at least a 1,000 watt inverter. Again, this was because we were moving a lot. We knew that we would be on the road a lot. And what the 1,000 watt inverter allows us to do is turn our DC power from our batteries into AC power, and then we can operate our outlet. So while we're driving, Sabrina has a little workstation up here. She's able to plug in her computer, keep her computer charged by plugging it into the wall outlet. So the inverter allows us to run the outlets. It allows us to watch TV if we want while unplugged. It doesn't do a whole. That's really about all our inverter will do. If you go with a larger inverter, then you're talking you'll be able to power your microwave. If you go to a 3,000 watt inverter with a Microsoft Easy Start or a Micro Air Easy Start, then you're able to power your AC unit even. But we knew that we wanted at least a 1,000 watt inverter, and that's what we have. We have the 1,000 watt inverter. We also wanted to make sure that we could tow about 5,000 pounds. We already purchased a car. We owned it for a little while. It's a heavy car, even though it's a little car. It's a hybrid. It's got a large lithium battery in it. So it's a beefy little car. It's a dense little car. So we wanted to make sure that we had a decent amount of tow capacity. This was able to tow 5,000 pounds, and that's actually more than what we needed. But that's good. Sabrina's frowning because she would actually like to tow something a little larger. She would
but we just don't. We don't have that capacity.
Yeah, you want to tow. I forget what it was called.
What I really want?
Yeah, I forget.
I want a Volvo XC60.
I don't think they're flat towable anyway.
They're not. Though. I know.
But weight-wise, it would be good. Yeah, then you need a trailer, and who wants all that? Don't mean to offend anybody that has one, the trailer and everything, but she's talking. I think we would need like a flat trailer. You can't even put the thing up on wheels or front wheels.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
So then there were a couple things that we realized that after we purchased the RV, they were all of our wants and needs. After we purchased the RV,
wants and needs. That's a lot of wants. I don't know about needs, but
they were all necessary. After we purchased the RV, this RV came with a few things, or really just a couple things, that we didn't realize that we needed until we had it. And that is one, we have a well, you can't even see it on the screen, but we have a drop down bunk. When we park, we can lower it down above the chairs. And that has been incredibly useful for when we have company, when we have a niece or nephew stay with us, parent, or any family member.
Shockingly, people come stay with us in here.
All the time.
It shocked us. When we first got this, we weren't even thinking anybody would want to stay in here with us, but people seem to want to, and yeah, so it's worked. I mean, we've had our niece and nephew here at the same time, so one would sleep in the dinette and one would sleep up here. If there's just one, they sleep up here. It's actually pretty shocking to us.
Yeah, they still want to sleep up there. I guess it's fun. I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Doesn't seem fun to me.
Off, but...
So if we were to shop again, overhead bunk, drop down bunk area would be on our must-haves. We like it that it lifts up out of the way, and then when it's not in use, we don't even know it's up there until we need it.
Until you bang your head into it. Until I bang my head into it.
I don't. Sometimes we forget to
put it completely back up. It's a rude awakening.
The other thing that this RV had that I never gave much thought to before we bought was a gravity fill for the water, fresh water gravity fill. And all that is, it allows us when we're boondocking, we carry 2 6-gallon water jugs with us. I'm able to go fill up at a gas station or some area with water, bring them back to the RV, and just pour the water into our fresh water tank. If you do not have a freshwater gravity fill, you need to pressurize the water and attach it to your city inlet or your normal water. And the ways you can do that is just with a simple little pump. But it's nice to have that gravity fill, and no matter where we are while we're driving, if we're at a Flying J and we want more water, I just add a little bit more water. It makes it very simple to add water to the RV. If you would like to see a full tour of our RV, you can go to our YouTube homepage, and we have a tour video of our RV. Keep in mind, it's a very old video. It's one of our first videos. It's probably, well, my fault. I was going to say it's probably not up to snuff as our newer videos are, but it's probably just as fine as our newer.
So no,
our newer stuff hasn't gotten any better.
So the answer to the question, this is not a new RV. This is the same RV we've had since 2017.
Yeah, we bought this January of 2017, so we've had it. It'll be very soon 3 years. In a couple more weeks, it'll be 3 years. So we bought it used. It was 6 months old when we bought it. We just thought this would be a helpful video for things to look at, especially because the people that we bought this at a dealership, but the person that bought it before us owned it for 6 months and decided that it's not the right RV for them. So after 6 months, they traded it in, and we purchased it. And
they took the depreciation hit.
Yeah, and we were able to get a really good deal on this. It was 6 months old with 5,000 miles on it. It was it was really almost like brand new for us. So just take your time. It's a lot of fun shopping for an RV. It's very stressful. We recommend going to the shows. They're a little less forceful because they're so busy with everybody else. You know, when you go to a show, there's thousands of people. When you go to a dealer, it's more of a one-on-one basis, and they really try to.
Just people following you around.
Yeah, they really try to talk you into buying, even if you're not ready. At the shows, they're too busy to worry about you. People come and go out of these. You might be. The bad thing is, though, you'll be looking at an RV sometimes with 10 other people at a time. So it's tough to get a feel of how it's going to operate and function for you. If you're just two of you, you're not always going to have 10 people in your. Hopefully, you don't always have 10 people in your RV.
The other thing is, if you're doing research on what you're looking for, you're going to actually know more about the RV than the salespeople. And we found that happened a lot when we went to look at the RVs. The salespeople are just kind of there to sell, and you'd ask them questions. They're like, I don't know. Let me find this booklet. And we're like, we already, yeah. So just do your research.
But that's also because they sell
all different models.
All different models. I mean, when we would go in, we knew all about the particular model that we were looking at, where they're trying to remember 25, 30 different RVs.
He's always so nice to everybody. He's always so nice.
It's true. They're not going to remember every model and every detail.
But they're also not going to try to convince me that something is what I actually want when it's not what I want, even though they don't know what I like. They don't really know the answer to the question, but they're trying to convince me that this is what I want.
And a lot of times they did not know basic answers every once in a while. Every once in a while, I'll be like, okay.
You're like, let me look at this sticker in the window.
Yeah. So I think that's everything that we looked for when we bought our RV. Like I said, we've had it for 3 years. I think it's been a great RV. We're planning on having it for probably another 3 years. We have no intentions of trading it in, or people always say, when are you going to upgrade? I don't think we have any intentions of it so far. Not at this point. Yeah, it's been a great RV. It's still continuing to go strong for us 70,000 miles later. So I think that is it for now. We will be back tomorrow. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike the video, give it a thumbs down. If you have some must-haves, please add them to the bottom of the video in the comment section. And we will catch you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.